Last year, my 2025 Ioniq 5 suffered a battery pack failure due to a cell voltage imbalance. And a few weeks later, it happened again with the press vehicle that Hyundai loaned me. That one was a 2025 Ioniq 5 XRT. Up until now, we thought that this issue only affected Hungarian-built battery packs that were then being shipped to the US and used to manufacture the US-built Ioniq 5s. Around the springtime of 2025 is when they switched over to building the packs within the US. But a new technical service bulletin that was just released proves otherwise. So if we go back to April of 2025 and look at the technical service bulletin they released, it says that it was for vehicles produced at the Georgia Meta plant from December 10th, 2024 through April 8th of 2025. Now, we don't know the official start of production date for the US built batteries, but April is around roughly when we think that happened. So that's previously why I stated it seemed like it was a Hungarian-built battery issue. But now, looking at the updated technical service bulletin, it now covers December 10th, 2024 through September 22nd, 2025. And that is a really big window, and it adds thousands and thousands of cars into the potential mix that are going to experience battery pack failures. And that is because there was a huge rush of people out buying these cars before the tax credit expired at the end of September here in the US. Now, because there's a bit of a lag time from when the vehicles are produced to when they hit the dealer lots, plus throwing in the fact that sales really took a hit after the end of September, we can kind of presume that this could potentially impact every 2025 Ioniq 5 sold in the US last year, even those from September until December, maybe even into the beginning of this year. And ever since I posted my video about my battery pack failure, other people came out and started talking about theirs, and it was affecting 2025 Ioniq 5Ns, which were built in Korea. And I also saw a lot of Ioniq 5s that were purchased way after April of 2025. So it definitely makes sense that it is a much bigger window than originally thought. So with all this being said, how can you determine whether or not your car's battery pack is failing? So the first thing, and this is the way that I kind of had an idea that something was seriously wrong with my Ioniq 5, was DC fast charging speeds were horrendously slow, even though I had a preconditioned battery pack that I knew would be able to accept full charging power. And then the charging curve associated with it is also really weird. You'll see it dip down, go back up, go down, go back up, basically always trending downward though, and really slow speeds. And then along with that, you'll see your estimated time to 80% basically stay flat and not change, meaning that the battery is just charging slower and slower indefinitely until it slows to basically a stop. Another thing you're going to see is reduced range, and that is because the battery pack doesn't have its full capacity anymore with that one cell that is out of balance. So I actually showed you guys this in the video about the Ioniq 5 XRT, where you could see that the battery pack capacity, checking it with an OBD2 scanner, was significantly less than the roughly 81, 82 kilowatt hours you should see at a full state of charge. When you're using Car Scanner ELM with the OBD2 scanner, you can also swipe over a few pages until you see the cell voltage dashboard, and you'll just see a chart with the different voltages across all the battery pack cells read out, and you'll see a couple blips if your battery pack is indeed going out of balance. They'll be significantly lower than the rest of the pack, thus you have this issue. Now, if you don't know how to use an OBD2 scanner, I do have a video from a few years ago that kind of goes over the gist of it. I am working on a new video where I'm going to show you all sorts of other things you can do with it. So stay tuned for that. Hit the subscribe button if you want to be alerted to that when it comes out. And the last giveaway that you're having a battery pack failure, you will eventually get a DTC as well as a warning on your driver display saying there is an issue. It might take a few battery charge and discharge cycles for it to eventually pop up. Like the XRT, I never got that DTC trouble code, unlike the Ioniq 5, where I was traveling when the issue was occurring, so I did a bunch of DC fast charging stops, was doing a bunch of driving, so that may have pushed the trouble code to appear sooner. I wasn't doing as much driving with the XRT. If you do have an OBD2 scanner and you want to run a diagnostic scan on your car, look for codes P1AA700, which is for cell voltage deviation, or P1AD300, and it just says MISD. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but either of those trouble codes means that you're going to be getting a new high voltage battery pack. Now, how long is this replacement going to take? Well, for me, it took a few weeks. Some of you have been waiting 2, 3, 4 months for a battery pack, and that's just unacceptable. Many people resort to using lemon laws to get out of their lease or the car that they bought, which is really unfortunate. But you got to do what you got to do if you need transportation. When your car goes into the dealership, if they don't have a loaner available for you, you can rent a car. You will get reimbursed for it. If you have to Uber places, keep those receipts or download those receipts because they will reimburse you for that as well. I think the limit is like $30 or $35 per day, so don't go out renting a luxury car or something. Keep it kind of basic if you can. If there's any silver lining, you're getting a new battery pack that should have less degradation than your existing battery pack, so I guess that's a good thing. The battery pack that Hyundai sent me for my car basically had the same amount of capacity as when the car was brand new, so that was nice. But ultimately, we don't know where the battery packs are coming from, if they are brand spanking new or if they're rebuilt, remanufactured. When somebody gets a battery pack taken out, they put a new module in it that doesn't have the cell voltage deviation issue, and then they ship that out. We just don't know. I've asked Hyundai directly to share this information, and they don't want to. I also asked the dealership, and they have no idea where it comes from either. They just get it shipped via freight to their facility. Now, something that you have to really look for when you get this done is that they properly handle the coolant system. So the dealership that I use, which was MyRack Hyundai in Arlington, Massachusetts, which very conveniently got bought out by McGovern Hyundai a few weeks later, didn't properly purge the air from my battery system's coolant loop. So there was all sorts of air in the system, and it was cold, and I was DC fast charging, so I was running battery conditioning, and that caused the heating element for the battery heating system to burn out. And that had to be replaced. And that added weeks of time and hassle to my life, getting them to take it back to the dealership, repair it, send it back to me. And all around, it was just extremely frustrating. The technicians should know better. They should know how to do this by now. They've been replacing battery packs for years now. Very frustrating. So if you do get this service done, I would say the first thing to do when you get it back, if it's still cold out, run battery conditioning. Check the coolant level under the hood. If it starts dropping significantly, stop running battery conditioning, immediately bring it back to the dealership and have them add more fluid to the coolant loop. This way you're not going to burn out the heating element the next time you run battery conditioning. If you guys have any questions about the whole situation, leave them down in the comment section. If you've had a battery pack failure on a late model 2025 or 2026 Ioniq 5 even, let me know down in the comment section as well. There's no reason to believe that it's happening in the 2026s, but who knows? Maybe 6 months from now, they'll update the TSB and it'll cover 2026 Ioniq 5. So again, stay tuned for that revamped version of the OBD2 scanner video. If you want to watch the original one, I will have that linked there or there. I forget which side of my head that's going to be on, but you can click that and watch it there. Consider visiting ioniqguy.com to see all the various accessories that I make for the Hyundai Ioniq 5. All sorts of cool stuff there, adapter holders, sunglasses holders, and of course the automatic door lock device, which is my best seller. It locks all the doors 10 seconds after you close the last one, and then you don't have to worry about leaving your doors unlocked anymore. Again, ioniqguy.com, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.